Monopoly Deluxe. Oh yeah. The ultimate benchmark for any Windows XP computer. Yeah. Hello. We are back with some more computer shenanigans, and today we shall be taking a look at, hang on a second. Whoa! This thing. This right here, my friends, is my ultimate Windows XP gaming PC. So I originally picked up this computer, I think in 2018. It was during a citywide cleanup in my hometown. And minus a whole lot of dust on the inside, the computer was in really good shape. And I knew I just had to pick it up. I just couldn't say no. Best thing about it, when I went home to plug it in and turn it on, it worked perfectly fine. The people who originally had it just must have thrown it out just because it was so old. I think this computer was from 2006, so it really isn't good for anything nowadays. Unless, of course, you want to turn it into a Windows XP gaming PC like I did. So when I got this computer, it originally had Windows XP Media Center 2005 edition installed on it, which it's exactly like any other Windows XP edition, except it's got a whole bunch of programs that are specifically tailored to media capabilities. Plus, it came with a really cool desktop theme that was exclusive to Windows XP Media Center Edition. But I ultimately installed Windows XP Professional Edition on this, mainly because a lot of my games were having some compatibility issues with Media Center Edition. But if I ever for some odd reason want to go back to Media Center Edition, luckily I kept the recovery partition on the hard drive. So let's take a closer look at this thing. So this computer originally came with one DVD drive. It was a LightScribe DVD drive as well, but I was having some issues reading discs, so I ended up replacing it. But unfortunately this one doesn't have LightScribe, which it's fine. LightScribe isn't really all that fancy anyway. I don't really need it. And then eventually I ended up putting in another DVD drive just because, well, why not? And because this was a Media Center centric PC, it came with this really nice SD card reader, but I can't really find any drivers for it, at least not ones that'll work with newer versions of Windows, but it's whatever. We've got our standard selection of front I/O, like front panel audio, USB, and something you don't see very often, FireWire. You mainly see these a lot on Apple's Macintosh computers from the time, but I haven't really seen FireWire on very many Windows PCs. I don't know a whole lot about FireWire, but from my understanding, this was mainly used for devices like DV camcorders, Apple iPods, the early ones, and a couple of other devices I can't really think of on the top of my head. Also, something that most people don't realize is that FireWire at one point was actually faster than USB, making it way more ideal for devices like I just mentioned before. But once USB started to catch up, especially with USB 3.0, FireWire was basically obsolete. Moving on to the back of the PC. So this originally had a 300 watt power supply. I ended up upgrading it with a Corsair 400 watt power supply just because after making some upgrades I figured that the system would need a little bit more power. Unfortunately, I didn't really think through how the power supply was going to fit in the system. I mean, it does fit, but the screw holes don't line up, so I can't actually screw it in place. But luckily the brackets hold it in place enough to where it doesn't jiggle around in there, so it's good enough for now. We also have a cooling fan, PS2 ports, parallel port, VGA, some more USB ports, another FireWire port, Ethernet, digital audio out, and some more audio ports. Also, I put in a graphics card in this thing, which we'll be looking at later, because you can't really have a Windows XP gaming PC, or really any gaming PC, without a graphics card now, can you? Besides, the integrated ATI Radeon X200 graphics are pretty anemic and not the best for gaming at all. And now, for the best part of all, finding out what's inside the system. Please excuse all the mess of cables in here. Like I said, the power supply doesn't really fit in this system all that well, including all the cabling. So wherever there's empty space, I just have to put the cabling there and hope it doesn't restrict any airflow. So running the show is an AMD Athlon 64, I think it's a 3400 plus. It's a single core processor. Back in the day, this processor would have run circles around an Intel Pentium 4. But nowadays, because it's a single core processor, it's pretty weak. But for Windows XP gaming, it's actually pretty damn good. And as I'm recording this video, I have an Athlon 64X2 dual core that's on the way that I'll be putting into the system, making it a lot faster, especially if I want to run newer operating systems on this thing. You may not be able to see it very well because of all the cables in the way, but right in there is the RAM. When I got this computer, it originally came with 1 GB of RAM, but later on I maxed it out to 4 GB. Way overkill for Windows XP, but I figured, hey, why not? So for a graphics card, I ended up going with an Nvidia Geforce 9500 GT, which it's not the most powerful or even the best graphics card for Windows XP, but it's got 512 megabytes of video memory, and from my experience, it's actually a pretty damn good graphics card. Also, feast your eyes on that wicked hack job on the fan. Yeah, when I originally ordered this graphics card, the fan was dying, so I had to just make do with a fan that I already had and just mount it on there somehow. So I ended up taking rubber bands, and I mean, it works. It keeps the graphics card cool. It's not the prettiest solution in the world, but hey, this is a project PC. If it works, it works. And finally we come to storage. So this is the original hard drive that the computer came with. It's a Seagate 200 gigabyte hard drive. This one has Windows XP on it. And then I put in a second hard drive later on. This is a Western Digital Caviar Green 1 terabyte hard drive. I mainly use this hard drive for testing out other operating systems. Alright, enough showing off the specs. Let's see what this thing can do. No ultimate Windows XP gaming PC should ever use freaking VGA. Screw that, we're better than that. DVI is the way to go. And with everything all plugged in and ready to go, the ultimate Windows XP gaming PC roars to life. Hell yeah, good old Windows XP. Holy crap, I just realized next year Windows XP is going to be 20 years old. Wow, that's just insane to think about. Yeah, oh, that sound never gets old. And hey, would you look at that, almost 30 seconds on the boot time. That's actually not too bad for a hard drive. Also, I'm not entirely sure why, but whenever the computer starts up, Explorer just refuses to load. Oh, there it is. It just takes a really long time. Usually I have to go into Task Manager and end Explorer and then reopen it. It's really weird. I haven't been able to figure out what causes that issue, but other than that, the system works completely fine. Alright, so we got Microsoft Windows XP Professional Edition, version 2002, Service Pack 3. We're running an AMD Athlon 64 3500 plus clocked at 2.20 gigahertz. We've got 4 gigabytes of RAM, even though it shows up as 3.25 because we're running a 32-bit operating system. And we're running an Nvidia Geforce 9500 GT with 512 megabytes of VRAM. So in theory, we really should be able to run some pretty decent games on this thing. But what? The ultimate game to play on the system. And that would be Monopoly Deluxe. Oh yeah. The ultimate benchmark for any Windows XP computer. Yeah. No, but seriously, let's actually show off what this thing can do. Let's start off with 3D Mark 2003. So I think we'll run it at probably not native resolution of the monitor, because I think that might be a little too much. Let's try 1280 by 960. We'll have no anti-aliasing, optimal texture filtering, and we'll run everything except the sound tests, And I think we're ready to go. Run 3D Mark. Check that out. 200 FPS. That is pretty damn good. Considering on the integrated graphics I was getting like 15. So yeah, that's a really big difference. Wow, I saw 400 FPS at one point. That's crazy. So even though we're getting some really good performance, there is a small problem. Even though we have a decent graphics card, we've got plenty of RAM, we have a pretty decent CPU for the time, we're running into a bottleneck, and that is the CPU. That single core AMD Athlon 64 is just not fast enough for some of the later Windows XP games, which is kind of why I want to put in that dual core Athlon 64X2, which will give us a lot better performance in some of the newer Windows XP games. Alright, let's show off a game that I was originally trying to play on this computer before I made the upgrades. Something like Battlefield 2, a classic.
Go, go, go!
Hell yeah. Holy crap, that is so smooth. Look at that. I know you can't see it because the video is rendered in 30 FPS, but man, that is smooth. Before I put a graphics card in this system, it ran at like 10 FPS, and now with all the graphics settings maxed out and running at the native resolution, the game is just buttery smooth 60 FPS. Hell yeah. Let's see, where's the enemies at? I'm not too familiar with Battlefield 2. I played a lot of Battlefield 3 and 4, but not a whole lot of Battlefield 2. Still a really good looking game for 2005 though. Like, wow. As you can see, it doesn't have the same satisfying physics engine like Battlefield 3 and 4 have, mainly because this isn't running on Frostbite engine. That wouldn't come until, I want to say, Bad Company, if memory stands corrected. I got him. Sweet. At least I think I got him. Ah, shit. Heck yeah, let's show off some Fate Undiscovered Realms. Oh, I love this game. I also remember this game really struggling with the integrated graphics, but now with everything maxed out, it plays it like a charm. Oh, it's so nice. It feels weird playing the game so smooth after being used to such shitty performance. Gotcha.
The quest is completed.
Sweet. Hey, yeah.
You have triggered a trap.
Call me Link because I hate pottery. I'm like way too overpowered to be in this area because like I'm killing everything with one shot. It's so satisfying. Take that. Out of my way. Yeah. Die. It's so satisfying. I should probably stop, otherwise I'm going to be playing this game for hours on end today. We got a video to do. Heck yeah, let's play some Think Tanks. Now this game came out like 2002, so it's incredibly easy to run. Even on the integrated graphics, this game ran flawlessly. I don't know, I guess this is just to make up an excuse just to play this game. So we're running everything maxed out, including at the monitor's native resolution. It should play like a charm. Oh god, I'm already getting sniped. Get out of here. Aww. So I have no way of actually measuring the frame rate in these games, but you'll have to take my word for it. It's actually really smooth. Got him. Oh no, I'm gonna die. Ah, help! Run away! Ah! Dang it. Hello there, convenient power-up. Take that! Die. Oh yeah, Area 51. This is actually a pretty underrated first-person shooter. So this is another game that struggled tremendously on this computer before I added the graphics card. But now, with everything maxed out, including native resolution, the game runs like a charm. I will say, even though the game's running really smooth, it's really jittery for some reason. I don't know if that has something to do with the resolution that we're running at, or if it's just the game itself, but other than that, it runs perfectly fine. Let's see, how do I go mutant again? Is it, let's see. Crap, how do I go mutant? I don't remember how to go mutant. We're screwed. Oh god, I'm dying. These guys are so annoying. I seriously don't remember how to do that. Oh, there it is. It's X. I wish I would have known that earlier. I can't see anything. Wait, did I die? That's not fair. I couldn't see anything though. La 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 la. Oh god, what are these? Go away. Whew. Die. I see you. And now you're dead. Alright, let's show off some Unreal Tournament 3 on this thing. So this is one of those games that would really benefit from a dual core processor, because with that single core Athlon 64 in there, we're really being limited quite a bit. You can't go anything past, say, 1024 by 768 without seeing some really big frame rate dips, and we also can't go anything higher than like low to medium settings, unfortunately. Team deathmatch. Let's do like a really heavy map with a lot of players. So we'll do 9 players and 5 minutes and start game.
Play, you are on red.
All right. So with the settings that we're playing right now and on the map that we're playing right now, we're getting about 30 FPS. Ah, shit, and they killed me. Which, you know, it's playable, but this game would really benefit from being a little higher than 30 FPS, at least in my opinion. The controls feel a little on the sluggish side with 30 FPS. There you are, buddy. Bye. Wherever you went. Oh shit. Ah. I'm just gonna follow you guys. It seems like you guys know what you're doing. Because I don't. I spy with my little eye an enemy. I actually got a kill. Sweet. Come back here. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Yeah, I wouldn't have any dreams of running this game on the integrated graphics. No way. Ah! Die. Come here, enemies. Come out wherever you are. I got a flat cannon with your name on it. Do you know where the enemies are?
30 seconds left.
Ah, there's one. Ah! Oh shit, I can't see where I'm... Okay. I couldn't see what was going on.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Red team wins the match.
Hell yeah! Now here's a game I'm honestly surprised even runs on this computer. Tiny and Big, Grandpa's Leftovers. Mind you, this is a game from 2012 and it's running on a single freaking core processor. That's just, it's just mind-blowing. And it actually runs pretty decently too. Albeit at the lowest possible settings and not even close to native resolution of the monitor, but hey, it runs. It does struggle a little bit getting to a constant 30 to 60 FPS, but I mean, it's playable somehow. Oof. Yeah, this area is not really a good example of showing the FPS because it's like hovering at a really unstable 30 FPS. There's times that it feels like it's like jumping between 30 and like 25 constantly. It's weird. But yeah, most areas hover around 30-35 FPS, but there's some that it doesn't matter what you do, it'll hover around 20 FPS or less. But yeah. Oh no, I died. But yeah, the fact that this game is even running at all is just mind-boggling. Oh boy! How did I survive that? Oh boy, that was a miracle. I wonder if that dual-core processor would help with the frame rate a little bit. It might, because yeah, looking down at all this geometry and whatnot, the frame rate's at around like 20. So yeah, kind of laggy. If you've never played Tiny and Big, I highly recommend it. It's really short, but it's still a pretty good game. I don't know why I thought that was going to work. Oh well. Alright, let's just show off one more game. This is just a random one that I installed on here. It's called Switchball. It's from 2007. And even at maximum settings and even at the native resolution, it runs perfectly fine. There's some really weird screen tearing issues, but honestly, it's really playable, and I totally failed at that. Okay, take this box, and there's gotta be a way to, come on. Stay. There we go. Easy as pie. Yay! Level complete. Check out this really cool cloth physics. Hell yeah. God, 2007 was such an amazing time for physics engines. Alright, that's enough looking at games. Let's look at one more thing. So, I remember this computer really struggling with HD content before I put in that graphics card. But with that in there, let's show off what it can handle. So just as an example, here's a video that I took in the Badlands, I don't know, 6 years ago. And this video is running in, I believe, either 720 or 1080p, and it's handling it like a champ. No skipped frames, I can even scrub through the video. Yeah, plays perfectly fine. So when I picked up this PC, it originally had Windows. Ooh, that's like really laggy. 2005 edition. Yeah, I don't think that's gonna work. This clip is playing in 1080p, and I think that might be too much for this computer. If you're playing a 720p video, it might be okay, but anything more than that, it's a no-go, unfortunately. I should have known. Oh well. So yeah, that's pretty much all I want to show off with this thing. I might be doing an update video once I get that dual-core processor upgrade in the mail, so be on the lookout for that. When I was younger, I always wanted a Windows XP computer like this, one that would basically run any game under the sun. And now I have one. Ah, it's such a good feeling. So yeah, Don't think this is going to be the last time you'll see this computer. It's going to be in my possession for probably years to come. Alright, Windows XP, you know what to do. Blissful.